Hello, welcome back to the Project Hercules Diaries, where the shed fairies have been busy working on the timing cover. So when we left this, we needed to drill some quite long holes, and they've been really quite tricky to drill because the drills were getting quite full and blocked with all the bits of aluminium swarf, and it was difficult to clear the flutes because they're quite long holes. And to give you an indication of that, I've got a piece of wire here that's bottomed out, and if I extract the wire and then put it there, you can see that that hole goes right down to round about there on the timing cover. So that hole is that hole there. You can see where it breaks through right in the center. It goes through that hole there on the end of the bearing, the end of the shaft. So any oil coming into this chamber will then get forced into the sleeve drive crank. And the other hole that we've drilled is on the bottom there. That hole there, you can see, comes all the way through, and you can see how it's just picked up the bottom here, and that comes through to almost the very end of here. So the two holes overlap. This hole here, which is closer to the bottom of this plate as you're looking at it, finishes about there, and this hole here, which is nearer to the top of the plate, finishes about there. And what that means is that when we drill through from this side, we should pick up this hole and we should pick up this hole, linking the two together. So any oil, when we've drilled through here, any oil the oil pumps out is going to fill this chamber, move along this hole and come out here into the crankshaft. Also come along here and up and into this hole and come out into the end of the sleeve drive crank. It's as drawn on the diagram, which is over here. So we've managed to drill this hole, the big long hole that comes all the way down to here, and we've managed to drill this hole that comes all the way up to there. And those holes do overlap top to bottom, so that when we drill through, we'll get a complete passage for the oilway. And that's probably the last tricky operation, is the big long holes. There's a couple of holes that we'll also need to drill in the timing cover that are a reasonable length. That one's quite long, I suppose, but pretty much that's the tricky stuff. Tricky stuff is drilled. So that's pretty good progress on the timing cover. Not an awful lot left to do before this is finished. Obviously we've got to put it back on and drill all the holes around the outside and get it mounted, but that shouldn't take too long. It's just a case of drilling through here and here once we've lined up the pump, and also fitting the oil pressure relief valve in case there's any problems to stop the engine destructing itself, and an orifice plate in here so we limit the flow to the crank to allow oil to come up to the top. So a few things to do, but really good progress, quite pleased with that. And again, every little bit of progress is another step towards getting it finished. So that's the latest update on the engine work. You've seen the infinity mirror in the bog. So all good, great Saturday. Thank you for watching again, and I'll talk to you all soon.